Now we started with OM in 93. I went to Doulos. Mike in 91 went to Doulos. So that's how our paths crossed and how we met. So we left the ships ministry in 95 and we got married in May 96. And Mike got a job as a radio officer in Ireland and he worked there for about 7 years. And during that time we were newlyweds. We did loads of OM presentations everywhere. And we got involved with the bus ministry and we were donated a beautiful big double-decker bus. And that started off, that was Mike's, one of his visions that he had when he was on Doulos. So we started that and we got in the summer of 2000 the first Love Europe team over to help. So that was the very first big red bus outreach we had, and the church in Letterkenny, was supporting us in that.
We were planting a church in Letterkenny, and it's almost like pre-OM Ireland, it became OM Ireland. At that stage, Mike and Astor Mullins joined us. Together with them, we set about getting a double-decker bus. We painted it up, we got it out on the streets.
After Mike had been with us, he began to have the vision for an Irish base for Operation Mobilisation, which we were delighted to hear, being based in the Republic of Ireland. So we began to pray for that with Mike and continued. And so it happened. Mike discussed it with John Brown and they began to work for it.
We were praying about it and we said we could do that, but provided we have people on a team, because we have many gifts, but we're not, there are things that we really can't do. So we're looking and praying, and that's how we met Helen and Alistair, who were just on the crossroads in their life, wondering where the Lord was leading them next, and they had totally different giftings from us, and it was perfect fit. So once they came on board, we said yes, we can start doing that.
I think just seeing God work in so many different ways. For me, initially I joined OM to be doing finances, and just to see the way God has provided for us, that has been just amazing to see God's work in that. I think for OM, just being able to get alongside churches, really seeing from when we started in Donegal, working with one church, and then sort of seeing that expand, where we're at a point where we're now looking at, working with, even for Impact Ireland this year, 4 or 5 churches, and seeing that growing all the time, I think that's a great encouragement for me. The biggest step of faith was just purchasing Lacken House. As the accountant for OM Ireland at that time, realising that we had no finances and just thinking, what are we doing? We're going from renting property, from only having a big red bus, to suddenly purchasing this property for over €1 million. That was really daunting, and it was a big step of faith, and I didn't know how, and I was probably very lacking in faith at the time, thinking, how can God possibly provide? Just amazing to see how God has provided in that way.
We at the time already had a GA program here. There were personnel changes, staff changes going on at the same time. So what we saw happen was this gap year sort of developing into how we do global action here at OM Ireland, how we do the GA program. What came out of that was a program called Immersion. And we named it that, this idea of immersion being sort of in the U.S. South vernacular of being thrown into the deep end of the pool. We bring in students from all over the world. We've had students from Korea, from Germany, from Switzerland, from the States. They come into us and they go through a period of training here at our base at Lacken House. Our intention is to have a balance of theological, scholastic training, but also heavily weighed with practical training to prepare students to serve the churches here in Ireland.
For the people who come in short-term missions, and for Impact especially right now, I just want them to experience how lost Ireland really is. Because one thing that when I came here, I didn't realize how lost Ireland really was, how many people just don't care about God.
One of the encouraging things for us is to see the many folks coming for short-term, returning for long-term. It's happening now people come here for Impact Ireland, for other short-term opportunities, they're applying for long-term with OM Ireland.
I'd really like to see us to continue to grow as a team, to really work together. We value the churches here in Ireland and to really come alongside those local churches.
We love to see it happen is more Irish folks get involved.
My passion is definitely working with young people, and in particular young people within Ireland, I suppose, as I see the needs within Ireland.
We've just come to realise this year that our current bus is not going to meet the needs that we have, and so we've actually looked at a new project, a replacement bus project, and so we have just recently purchased the bus, and the next step of that will be to actually customisation of the bus. That is actually the biggest investment on that, and so we really need to see funds flowing in. We're really trusting God that He will provide, and we know that people, once they catch the vision, will be excited to come on board.
I think it's very important to when we look at OM Ireland, we can look at individuals and people and everything, but we've got to remember that this is God's work. My hope for OM Ireland is that every person who comes on the team will grow in their relationship with Jesus Christ, that every church we partner with will be excited that they have partnered with us and that we have helped them to accomplish what God has put in their hearts, in their communities.
I thank the Lord for the connection with OM Ireland. I praise God for Mike and Alistair Mullen and their vision, along with the OM board, to come down to the Midlands.
I've always found it an absolute joy to have OM serving with us, and admired their sacrifice, how they've held to the preaching of the simple truth. So from the Irish Church, a very large thank you to you, OM, and we appreciate all you've done for us.